Now today let's start with chapter number 2, globe, that is latitudes and longitudes. So in this chapter we will study about globe. It is a true model of the earth. We can describe location at different places on the earth within the help of globe. A globe demonstrates the earth rotating on its axis, which is an imaginary line through a middle of the earth. So what happened? The ends of the axis are north and the south pole. Another imaginary line running on the globe divides the earth into two equal parts. This line is known as equator, right? So how are globe useful to us? On globe, continent and ocean are shown in their correct and relative size and shape. जो distance and direction है, they are also represented correctly and they are useful in understanding how days and nights are caused. इससे आप क्या कर सकते हो? इसलिए समझ सकते हो कि कैसे days और कैसे night cause होती है. So we can simulate the effects of rotation and revolution with this help. And some problem with globe is the major drawback of globing globe that the earth is that it cannot be seen completely in a single glance, right? If we have to study the earth hemisphere, the western hemisphere will not be visible and vice versa. They are difficult to handle and we cannot study physical features of the earth individually, right? Next is latitudes. What are latitudes? It refers to the angular distance of the place from equator and they are measured from the center of the earth. What are the important facts? That the latitudes are parallel to each other and they are also called parallels of latitudes. So all parallel circles from the equator and up to the poles are called parallels of latitude. Imaginary line that run east and west and they are used to measure distance, and the distance between two parallels of latitude कितना assume होता है 1 degree and वो किसके equal होता है 1111 किलोमीटर. So if we talk about equator, it is an imaginary circle that drawn around globe exactly halfway. Okay, this imaginary line, what it's do, it cuts the globe into two equal parts. This one hemisphere कहते हैं. ठीक है, ये ऐसे divide होता है. ये ऊपर वाला part होता है northern hemisphere, नीचे वाला part होता है southern hemisphere. Right? Equator क्या करता है? दो parts में cut करता है equal half में. And what we call it, we have ऑल द पैरेलल्स जो नॉर्थ में लाई करती है वो नॉर्थ लैटिट्यूड्स की होती हैं और जो आपकी साउथ में लाई करती है वो साउथ लैटिट्यूड्स की. सिंस द डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम इक्वेटर टू द नॉर्थ और साउथ पोल कितना होता है 1/4 होता है सर्कल का. दैट इज 90 डिग्री नॉर्दर्न लैटिट्यूड, नॉर्थ पोल को मार्क करता है. 90 डिग्री साउथ लैटिट्यूड, सदर्न पोल. हर एक पैरेलल लैटिट्यूड इज अ सर्कल, राइट? डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द टू पैरेलल लैटिट्यूड हमेशा इक्वल होता है, right? All parallels of the latitudes are not equal and their length get decreased as one moves northward to southward or towards the pole. Now some important latitudes. ये क्या होता है आपका 0 degree equator. This is Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. ये आपका लाई करता है 0 degree. ये 23.5, right? ये 23.5 होता है. This one, this is 66.5 north, this is 23.5 south and this is 66.5 साउथ. इक्वेटर आपका कहाँ टू इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करता है. 23 मैंने आपको बताई थी ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर. सो ऑन 21st day of June the sun shines vertically on the tropic of Cancer and the sun does not set between the Arctic Circle, North Pole. While does not shine at all. So let's study about the heat zones. So we can say that the rays of sun which is vertical occupy less space but the heat intensity is very high. So rays of the sun which are slanting occupy more space but the intensity जो है वो कैसे हीट की वो लो होती है. टॉरिड जोन ये ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर और ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैप्रिकॉर्न के बीच में लाई करती है. ठीक है, अबाउट हाफ ऑफ द इंडिया जो होता है वो आपका कौन सी जोन में लाई करता है? टॉरिड जोन. फ्रिजिड जोन नॉर्थ पोल विद इन आर्टिक सर्कल एंड अराउंड साउथ पोल इन एंटार्क्टिक सर्कल. इसको हम आर्टिक जोन कहते हैं इन द नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर और एंटार्क्टिक जोन कहाँ कहा जाता है? सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर, राइट? ये बहुत ज्यादा कोल्ड रहती है. Now let's talk about temperate zone. There are two temperate zone in each hemisphere. Okay, southern temperate zone and northern temperate zone. Now if we talk about longitudes of a place, refers to angular distance of that place from the prime meridian and it is measured from the center of the earth. Unlike the equator which is centrally placed between poles, meridian could have been taken to be the numbering of longitude. Finally, it is decided in 1884 by international agreement to choose as zero meridian, which passes from the British Royal Astronomical Observatory, Greenwich, near लंदन. द मेरिडियन इज कॉल्ड प्राइम मेरिडियन, इसकी जो वैल्यू होती है वो 0 डिग्री होती है. हम 180 डिग्री ईस्टवर्ड एंड 180 डिग्री वेस्टवर्ड काउंट. इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट्स क्या है? ऑल लॉन्गिट्यूड्स क्या होते हैं? सेमी सर्कल होते हैं. दे आर नॉट अपोजिट्स. ठीक है, लॉन्गिट्यूड्स, ऑल द लॉन्गिट्यूड्स दे कवर द पोल. जितने भी आपके पोल्स होते हैं सारे लॉन्गिट्यूड सारे पोल्स को कवर करते हैं. राइट, जो डिस्टेंस होता है वो आपका डिक्रीज करता है. ऐसे आप पोल्स की तरफ जाते हो तो डिस्टेंस क्या होता है? डिक्रीज करता है. इट हेल्प्स इन कैलकुलेटिंग टाइम ऑफ द वेरियस प्लेसेस, और वो आपका सेम रहता है. लॉन्गिट्यूडल डिस्टेंस होता है, इट ऑलवेज रिमेन सेम. नाउ लेट्स स्टडी अबाउट द लोकल टाइम. So the place situated on the same longitude will have the same time, which is called local time of such places. Local time is calculated by the shadow cast by the sun. It is the shortest at noon and longest at sunrise and sunset. और जो meridian होता है, it has the sun at the highest point in the sky, and all the places along the meridian will have midday. So as the earth keeps rotating, जो place होता है different longitude will have different time. The earth rotates from west to east. और जो पीपल है ईस्ट में, दे विल सी द सन फर्स्ट एंड इसके बाद आपके वेस्ट वाले दिन. राइट, सो 24 आवर्स ऑफ रोटेशन मींस 360 अपॉन 360 15 डिग्री. सो द अर्थ टेक्स 4 मिनट टू पास फ्रॉम वन मेरिडियन एंड टेक्स 24 आवर्स और 1440 मिनट्स टू कंप्लीट वन रोटेशन. स्टैंडर्ड टाइम. सो इन द कंट्रीज विद लार्ज ईस्ट वेस्ट एक्सटेंट वेरिएशन, even our country difference in local time is Porbandar in the west and Dimarpur in the east. कितना है? 1 घंटे का. It's about 1 hour. Now suppose that every place in India followed own local time. There would be a confusion over train timing flight. Right? So meridian is taken as a standard time for entire region. So this is known as Indian Standard Time, that is 80 to 32 degrees meridian, chosen because it passes more or less the central part of India. So it is called standard meridian. We call it GMT, that is Greenwich Meridian. It is different country are expressed as difference in number of hour. This means that when it is 1 PM in UK, that is 6:30. तो हमारे यहाँ क्या होगा? 6:30 होगा. It is very large east-west longitudinal extent. In mainland USA, for example, there are 4 standard time, and in Russia there are 11. If we talk about time zones, so in India, like India, most countries of the world adopt their standard time from central meridian of the country. So we have 24 standard time zone. ठीक है, that is next by the 5 degree in longitude. And USA, Canada and Russia have a great east-west stretch. दो क्या करता है? Different time zone को adopt करता है. Right? So that is in Russia there are 11 standard time, and both Canada and USA they have 5 time zones. Right? How much? 5. This is all in this chapter. Hope you understood. Now we will meet in the next class. That's all for today. Thank you.